Our story begins in a dimly lit studio. Here, a lone reviewer sits, unaware of the crawling one slowly making its way towards him. Unbeknownst to the reviewer, the crawling one wants its revenge. Revenge for a review gone wrong. And by the end of our story, the reviewer will be no more.
Hey everyone, today we're talking about Storyteller, a campfire narrative, a game created by Pandian Games that's all about telling that perfect ghost story around the campfire with friends. This game system is incredibly simple to pick up and does some really smart things, in my opinion, to help you really amplify that feeling of the campfire story. I mean, kind of a hard thing to do, you know? Like, it's hard to emulate the ability of sitting around a campfire telling those scary stories about monsters coming from those woods. But I think Storyteller does a very, very good job at using mechanics and using themes to really capture that feeling of a campfire story. There are a couple things in this game system that I really like. The first one being the structure. When you start a game of Storyteller, you're going to first decide who's the host, who's going to be playing the characters, and then you play pretty much a game of Mad Libs with everyone else around the table or your campfire. One of the core things of Storyteller is this template that you are going to fill out, that it's going to be, you are in a location, the atmosphere in the location is like this is the type of monster, this is going to be what the monster is doing, and this is how the story is going to end. And yeah, you are even going to decide how the story ends before you even start playing Storyteller. Personally, I'm a really big fan of tabletop games that kind of give you the ending. I'm thinking like The Wretched, where you know you're most likely not going to make it off the ship, and in Storyteller you know that maybe not everyone is going to survive. And I think that really helps the players and the person hosting it figure out the scenes and really be able to tell great scenes that can really push towards that ending. Talking about structure, I also really like that the game has mechanics for if your character does die while playing Storyteller. Normally, some games would be like, oh no, you died, make a new character. Well, if you do die in Storyteller, you become a ghost, and it is now your job to help make the atmosphere even more creepy and horror-filled. I really like that, kind of having these different positions that aren't just game master and player, but having host, player, ghost, and just kind of having all these different mechanics and all these different cogs moving around to help tell this tale. It's really a game about getting that feeling of the ghost story, and I really think the mechanics really lend itself to that. Another thing that I really like, and I'm going to really emphasize the really here, is how you actually decide your choices. This is a tabletop game after all, so when you are playing a scene, their monster might appear and you might have to make a hard choice. And normally in tabletop games, you might have to pull a card from a deck or roll some dice. Well, Storyteller, you really get to choose how you're going to decide how the hard choice be made. That includes things as simple as flipping a water bottle over, and if it lands, you're fine, but if it doesn't land right, you're not going to be fine. Along with that, you can play like rock, paper, scissors, or really just any other type of camp games, or really any game you can think of around the table. It's really interactive in that way, and I also think really helps nail down that theme of this is a campfire story game, because you can play this with really anyone, even as someone who isn't used to tabletop games, being like, okay, well, we're gonna be telling these scenes now, and when something scary happens and we have to make a hard choice, gonna play like a game of checkers or something. I really think that's like really fun. And it's something I've never seen in another tabletop game, just this like completely improvised way to make these hard choices, and I really think it's brilliant. And then the last thing that I really like about Storyteller is how much support Pandian Games has put into this system. Like I said, there's the template at the beginning, there is guides on the different types of way you can improvise a hard choice. So if you do want to do rock, paper, scissors, you have a guide of how many successes you need, how many failures you need. Along with that, on Pandian Games website, they've created their own creator guide. So if you have played Storyteller a couple times, or maybe you want to do something a little bit different than the base template, they have provided you with the resources to do that, which I think is, it's great. I mean, who doesn't love when the people who create the tabletop games give you the resources to help make your game even better? And Pandian Games absolutely does that. If you want to pick up Storyteller, a campfire narrative, head over to Pandian Games website where you can pick up a copy. Along with that, they have a bunch of other cool games that I will be reviewing later this month that you should also check out. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I never do this, but like if you did like this review, think about subscribing and liking it. I'm doing a lot of these in October, so if you want to see more horror reviews of tabletop games, come to my channel, check it out. I'm going to be reviewing, and I have reviewed a lot of cool things this month, and I'm very happy to be doing that. I found some really cool things, and I'm excited to share them with you all. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. There's something about a crawling one possibly getting its revenge. I don't know. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and be excellent to each other.